Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Furby Day. Okay, she's actually in the backstage. I wanted to introduce her. So, guys, Furby first time coming on the channel. I believe it was about a year and maybe a month ago. She came on and came in the chat, and she's like, I thought she was a fake person because she had like a profile picture at the time. I'm like, ain't no way that's a real woman. Like, the way it looked. I'm like, I don't have women on my channel, and I now have this woman that's like, you know, spamming the chat with good things though, good vibes. So we all told her to come on, the live. She jumped on the live. She was like a ball of like joy and happiness, and she's been a mainstay. And we've had like back and forth. It's like a brother and sister fighting, and like here and there. But for the most part, it's always been love. She's defended me, even Rage Face, one of the most angriest guys in this world, more angry than me. He even showed love. Okay. So, you had a few months ago a racist, white supremacist. He came on and he was disrespecting me. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? My back was against the wall. I was like about to tap out. She jumped in and saved the day. And at that point, because I was at the point of like depression, I'm like, what do I do here? I was like, sad because I was like getting roasted. I didn't have anything to really say to the guy, but she came in, ran in, and hit him with a punch. And she was like, DJ, this is what's going on, this and that, this and that. And I was able to recover. And it was a big moment for me that I told her we gotta have a Furby day. She deserves it. Okay. There are about 5 people that are gonna have days, but it starts with Furby. So with that said, we're gonna bring her on. Um, let's give her warm welcome. What's going on, Furby?
Hey guys, what's up?
I think I got some smoke from Rage because he said I'm angry than he is, but I think he might be more angry than me.
I don't know, DJ. I would say you're basically way more angry than rage. I never heard him yell yet, but I've
It's
heard
kind of
you
crazy.
yell so many times.
It's kind of crazy because prior to like a year ago, I never used to yell. I used to be the most happiest person. I never yelled on YouTube, but then out of nowhere, I started doing panels, and it got me, my head hurting and just frustrated. But with that said, um, we're gonna get straight into it because a lot of people don't really know who you are necessarily, other than just Furby. You're just on the channel. So let's start. Where are you from originally?
So I'm originally from Long Island, New York, in Suffolk County. So that's like the east side of Long Island.
Okay, was
Um,
that like a hood?
no, I was born in the suburbs. All of Long Island is suburbs. When you go out more east, there's kind of some farmland, but nothing like
Okay,
anything down south. My tribe, the Shinnecock tribe, they have originated on Long Island, so they've been there for thousands of years. So I just like ended up in the same place too.
okay. So you pretty much, so you grew up in somewhat the suburbs. Now, when you said your tribe, were you guys like a tight knit community, or were you like on the outskirts of the tribe?
Personally, me and my family were on the outskirts. I mean, my grandma's dad, he was a chief of the
Okay.
tribe, but my grandma was born in 1928, so this was like a really long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Um, but essentially, there are reservations on Long Island, but they're just
Okay.
like kind of like slums and not necessarily like the best place you want to be in comparison to like the Hamptons and
Yeah.
having the beautiful clean water, like the Atlantic Ocean's right there, and you could
Oh
see
yeah.
seals there and kind of stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Now, can you go? Now, can you actually go back to that? Like, can you actually, say you're down bad? Can you go and say, "Hey guys, I need somewhere to stay," and they welcome you, or is it not that type of situation with your tribe?
I'm not necessarily sure, but I'm pretty sure they have a community center, so there's definitely somewhere where you can go to get help. I have papers like a proof of authenticity that I'm part of that tribe, so I probably could go there if I like needed help or something. Yeah.
Okay. So now your upbringing. I'm trying to remember here. Was it just your mom, or was it mom and dad?
So I grew up with my mom and my
Okay.
nan, which is my mom's mom.
Okay.
My dad's in my life now, but in the beginning of my life, he just wasn't there. That's like the Puerto Rican side of my family.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'm my mom's only child, so I was pretty spoiled growing up.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's cool. So you pretty much you're now what would it be? Would it be your like if somebody says Native Indian or Native American, what's more respect like what's respectful to say to you? Is it Native Indian or Native American?
I prefer Native American or Indigenous, but I don't mind. I know a lot of older people say Indian, and it's like, well, we're not from India. The only reason why we're called Indians is because Christopher Columbus, like, he came to India. So I just feel like it's an inaccurate representation, but I'm not gonna, I don't get like too upset
Yeah.
over labels.
Oh yeah, I got you. And by the way, guys, the chat we're gonna get to the chat shortly. And any if you guys any super chats you do give will go straight to Furby. Keep that in mind. And super chats will be read. But if you see any comments, Furby, that you want to respond to, you can always just stop and just go to it. But if I see some good questions, I'll ask. And yes, she's native, as she just said. Don't really like to hear the American. Now, to kind of get into that, like Indigenous Day or whatever it would be, is that like replace? Is that did that replace Columbus Day? I know y'all said that yesterday. I think that they don't say Columbus Day anymore.
I've seen a lot of places do Columbus Day slash Indigenous Peoples Day. Um, I I think parts of history are important to remember, but it's just a mischaracterization saying that Christopher Columbus discovered America. And there are a few books out there that discuss what happened when Christopher Columbus first came to the Americas, and he basically was just like raping and pillaging the land. Like, there were pregnant women and their bellies were slashed open, and they would
Hmm.
dig like a hole really deep and put spikes underneath and like run the natives into the hole, and they would just be like laying there for days, like dying painfully. So I feel like saying Christopher Columbus Day is like, oh,
That's kind of nasty. I mean, that's absolutely nasty work. So, um, when did like so they covered the story up? I'm assuming has the story been exposed? Because I've never. I mean, I found out what like maybe 15 years ago that Christopher Columbus was like disgusting. He did all these things. Once I became like I got around conservative people, I started hearing and understanding the truth about America. Prior to that, I thought Christopher Columbus was like a great man. Like you were taught in schools, he was a great man. You were never taught that he slaughtered and did all those bad things. So when would you say the truth started being put out?
I'm not sure when I would say. I'm not.
Like
When
when
I
did you find out about it?
when I was growing up in school, we didn't really talk about the Native experience at all. We also kind of glazed over. We talked about like slavery a little bit, but kind of just glazed it over, and we're talking about like, um, I guess like the American Revolution and all of that kind of stuff. Growing up on Long Island, it's kind of predominantly white, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's definitely different than, for example, being in New York City when you're more like around a lot of other kinds of people.
Okay.
But I started really learning when I went to upstate New York college for a year called Oneonta, and I took a class called the Black Experience, and it talked about every immigrant's experience when they first came to America. And that's when I kind of really started learning more about I guess the truth.
Okay. So and I actually got to respond to this comment real quick. Why is your face so serious? It's because this is like me trying to get to know somebody's face. Like I can't really be too goofy unless I'm about to joke around. This is serious because I think like with Furby, we know her as just a lot of the creepy guys. They just know her as they consider she's like that chick. And then you have like the women, they consider her like nice, respectful women. And then with Furby, I mean not Furby, but Rage Face, I consider her, is his wife. So I'm like focused on trying to make sure I get everything out that we need to get out, so that way you guys come off with knowing exactly what Furby is all about. So that way next year when I do Furby Day, we have T-shirts, we design something, we make it more of a thing. Okay. So with that said, let's get to the next thing. So you said you're only child. Were you cool in high school, middle school? Were you like outcast, or what would you say? 1 out of 10, 10 being popular.
I was probably like a 2 or 3. I
Two
wasn't
and three.
at I wasn't at the very bottom, but I was like 1 ring above it, I would say. I was like pretty I guess I was like bullied for my style basically,
Okay.
but I ended up finding people that we kind of like the same things like
Yeah.
anime, video games, etc. And like I found my tribe.
So did you actually dress the way you dress now in high school?
Yeah, I've been dressing the same way for a while. I would say I was pretty alternative and that kind of, especially back then before it was more, I guess, socially acceptable. It was more of something like, oh, you're a weird kid or you're getting like bullied for that kind of stuff.
Okay. I guess they wanted me to put you up top. I should have put you up top. This is, about you. So, so pretty much, because I think we talked behind the scenes about this. I was telling you about how you have um, like the outcasts. They used to call them like, what were the names? I mean, it was more of the goth and like, they didn't really have anime. Anime wasn't a thing back then. So I think that when you came on the channel, you're like the first person that I've met that's been, more of like the anime, like the reason why I asked, did you have a cat? Because aren't you into like the kitties and all that stuff? Like
Yeah, I think
the,
cats are cute. I left my 2 cats in New York with my mom when I moved to Tennessee with
yeah,
Rage, so now we just have 1 dog, but
yeah. And by the way, I don't know if you want to answer this question. They ask how old are you?
I'm 25 years old.
Okay. So pretty much, I was probably maybe a 2 or 3 in high school. I was kind of lame because of the fact that I was scared of girls. So I understand where you're coming from. Plus, my stepdad, even though we had enough money to get nice clothes, I used to wear like freaking what was it, Payless back in the day? Did you guys have Payless back in the day?
Yeah, we had Payless on Long Island.
So were you like, did you have like nice clothes and all that, or were you like kind of like budget shopping?
Yeah, I would say I had nice clothes. I was really spoiled with my being an only child, just my mom would like buy me anything I wanted, really. So, um, it wasn't necessarily like not having nice clothes. I guess it was kind of like the style in which I dressed. That was
Okay.
kind of a turn off for people. Like I remember when I moved schools to Selden. This was like 7th grade in the middle of the year. My first outfit was like skinny jeans with a checkered belt going one way, a piano belt going the other, and then I had like 1 red Converse and 1 black one on. So
I think I remember those.
I was like a crazy.
Oh yeah, no, I remember those days. That like I remember the days of Converse being lit. Now your Converse were they like clean, or were they kind of like? Cause I remember checker belt also. The Converse were they like clean, or were they kind of like skateboard dusty?
They were pretty clean, honestly.
Okay, so you pretty much just put you so you pretty much you were put together. Everything was fresh. You just dressed different. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, back in that day, at least on Long Island, the culture was everyone was wearing like Hollister and Abercrombie,
yep, I
and that
remember
was
those.
kind of like an UGG, so that was kind of like the popular thing at the time.
Okay, and by the way, Conquistador wants to know, what are you guys' top 5 games? The past, I guess, top 5 games, and I don't know which gaming system, but yeah, what are your top 5 games? You and Rage Face, you play together.
Um, Together, we love playing WoW, which is World of Warcraft. We like Final Fantasy. Personally, I like playing Animal Crossing. I like Skyrim. I also play like, The Sims. Is It's just like a nostalgic game for me to play.
Man, that game
Um,
used to be my favorite. Any others?
Okay. I'm trying to think right now. I don't know. I like a lot of the Mario games too. Like on my Switch, I'll play that. I like Pokemon. Like kind of all the Nintendo classics I like.
Somebody just said, I don't know if that was for me. I think we got another troll account, a new one. So I think with Sims used to be my favorite game because I used to like want to like play a game that felt like real life. Like I used to like theme park. I don't know if you had theme park back in the day.
No, I played something similar called Thrillville.
Yeah, the same. Yep, I used to love those games. So I was gonna ask you. So pretty much after high school, what did you went to college and that was in LA, right?
No, I went to college in upstate New York for a
Oh,
year,
okay.
and then I was doing sociology, and I ended up realizing that it kind of wasn't something I was really that passionate about. So I took like a year and a half break, and then I started going to school in New York City, at the Laboratory Institute of Merchandising, and then I ended
Okay.
up getting my bachelor's of business administration there.
Okay. And then after you finished college, what was your life? Did you go into like your career or did you kind
So
of like
I was working throughout college. I've always been doing I guess I've always been doing like kind of like fashion type jobs. Like I worked at a pop-up store in Soho, New York, and I helped them like set up, and it was kind of like a bra stylist job, so I would help fit people do that. And just like all different kinds of like fashion related jobs.
okay? I asked you because like I think when I first went to your Instagram and I saw the pictures, I'm like, oh shoot, what the heck is there was a lot going on. And then I remember my daughter, I'm like, you should look and see if you like any of these clothes. Because you had some clothes that were like the type of clothes she would wear or want to wear, but she was younger. So I'm like, you can't wear this stuff, but you can wear this stuff. So my question to you, Kanye's wife, the way she be like walking around with like booty out, or she'll have like her boobs out with like say pasties or like a bra. Like she's just it's like Kanye's like putting her out in a way that like most men wouldn't be comfortable with. In the world of fashion, is that fashion or is that kind of like just Kanye? Because it seems like she's like New York type of style, like that the women be having that are like, you know, with the creator.
I would say it's not I don't anything it's subjective. It could be fashion to someone else, but I feel like her just wearing tights outside in public with, like, a t-shirt is definitely not fashion, in my
Yeah,
opinion. Um, also feel like with Kanye West and his line, how he started going closer towards, like, the homeless look with holes
yeah.
in the clothes and that kinda stuff. I feel like it's just, like, I don't know.
Hmm.
I like some of his outfits.
Yeah, I mean, everything Kanye puts out for the most part, other than his new line, like it looks boxy. But I think he's doing a good thing because he's trying to like help homeless people. But no, I'm just wondering because like the only reason why I asked you that question because 2 days ago, or either yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw like on Twitter they were leaving an event and like she had on like a shirt, like just a shirt, and then she had like everything out, like she was literally in like a thong, and I'm like, is this fashion at this point? But I jumped the gun a little bit because I know we're going to kind of move around with what we talked about ahead of time. We're going to talk about, and that goes into like the whole music industry. Okay. Um, it seems like Kanye, when his mom died, he went from being like normal, like, rapper, producer, like great to like just being all over the place. Like to the point that he said that um, that Jewish, whoever that Jewish guy that was controlling him at one point that threatened to put him on medication and lock him up and take away his kids if he didn't do what they wanted him to do. So that's one of those music industry conspiracy theories. But I know you said you had one. Go ahead and give me your
Um, I wanted
story that you had.
to
Okay, go
let
for it.
me talk really quick on the Kanye thing. When his
Yeah,
mom
go for it.
passed away, I listened to the 911 call that the caretakers that were taking care of his mom made. And
Okay.
they essentially, I feel like, were mishandling Kanye's mom, and I feel like they purposefully possibly like wanted her out of the way because they knew that that would make Kanye break even more.
Yeah.
So
So you think they took her out?
I think so because that was one of the last things that was keeping him from remaining like human.
Mm.
And after his mom passed away, he kind of just totally crashed out and like it all went downhill from there.
How do you think how are they able to get away with this? Like I never understood like how they have so much power that they can get away with these type of.
I think people that are you don't know their faces. We only know the faces of the people that they want us to see. Things are a lot more controlled than we can even imagine. I don't know if you've ever seen the Truman Show, but I feel like life is a lot like that. Um, when I went into an internship for the music industry in my senior year, I had to do it, or else I wouldn't be able to graduate. So the guy that I was working with is very well known, and he has credits in a lot of R&B music, specifically R. Kelly and those kinds of people. And working under him was an experience that made me realize that demons and selling your soul, all of those things that at first seem silly to me are definitely like, I think it's real and true.
Yeah.
For example, he wanted me to take part in rituals that were the rituals and the kinds of things he was into were related back to ancient cultures, like ancient Egyptian and Sumerian cultures. And Maverick just asked if I thought the guy was satanic. I would say yes. Or at least someone that prays to dark or something evil. Whenever I was around him, like my stomach would just like sink, honestly. And just a lot of the things he told us, like he was talking about the billboards, and basically the billboards are fake and they get to control who's at the top and who has the most played. Like all of the numbers are fake, and it's it's almost like they're all acting or something.
So pretty much like and have you ever been to one of these parties? Like been invited? I mean, of course you got invited to the party, but have you actually gone to one of these parties before?
He's invited me to them, but I never ended up going just because I was really scared and he wanted me to do like really inappropriate things that I knew wouldn't be okay. I remember the first time I talked to him on the phone, he said, there's going to be things that happen at these parties, and sometimes there's going to be $1 million on the table, and your morals are going to be questioned, and you're going to have to decide what you want to do.
It's kind of like and take no offense to this, but it's kind of like because my 3 year stint of having money and actually not going to these parties, but actually being around like the popping people, they kind of had your look like in regards to like they dressed like what you would call would be just different. They weren't like boring. They were like they wore things that you didn't find in the store. They put things together. And it seems like these people were always telling me like weird things that they do. And it seems like it's always the same type in my experience I used to run into. Like they be in like to like having their wife like kind of what Diddy did to Cassie, have their wife mess with like other men. It was like a power move. And then you had like, of course, the parties that people just have sex with each other, like just free for all. You have like men that put pills in women drinks and they get away with doing it. So you have a lot that goes on, but it seems like it only happens like the girl next door. It doesn't happen to that woman. It's usually like women that are just like in the art, entertainment, etc. So did that kind of take you away from wanting to be in that industry, knowing that that's kind of the way in? Because it seems like that's always the story that I've heard to get in.
I would say you have to do something kind of bad to get in to be that famous. There are independent artists, but they won't let you go as far as you wanna go. Like, that guy I was talking about, he was telling us that there is a gatekeeper, and you can do all these things and get advanced in your career, do as much as you want, but if the gatekeeper at the end says, "You can't be in the industry," then you're not in.
Yeah.
So,
No,
I think that and their songs too, for example, this artist Blade I listened to, he has a song called Gatekeeper, and it's talking about getting behind the lock and, like, finding a way through the industry while trying to still remain independent. Um, and I think that's a problem a lot of artists have these days because the contracts that they get signed to exploit them.
yeah. I agree with that. It makes them do desperate things. And by the way, I'm gonna read off the super chat here. Shout out to Armando Alamazan. I know I say his last name right, but sometimes I'm saying his first name wrong. I appreciate that. That's for Furby. $20 more, Furby. If you want to go ahead and read that,
Oh, I'm sorry. Get
there you
JJ
go.
and Crystal up out of here, Team Furby.
So Crystal and JB, just so y'all know, is her live. So if she wants somebody removed from this live, she has the power to time y'all out. So if y'all want to continue, if she says to time y'all out, that's just what it is. I told y'all yesterday, this is about her. So people are enjoying this, okay? Because like you got to remember, Furby's a nice person and interesting person, and she has unique style, and there's a lot involved with Furby that people want to know. So with that said, we're gonna keep it about Furby. And guys, you gotta remember, I'm trying to be calm. I have ADHD, so it's hard for me to stay calm. So if I might look awkward, but Furby's doing her thing. That's just how I am. But yeah, shout out to um, Amando with that $20 super chat. Let's
Yeah,
see if we
thank you
see
so much,
any.
Armando.
Yeah, let's see if we see any other comments here. You see anything that you want to respond to? I think that's pretty much it.
Um,
With that, so you have so
I would just
um,
comment with
go for
Bvas.
it.
He said, "All I know is that if you're talking about this, you're definitely warned of consequences for disclosing such info." I'm not under an NDA or anything, and also just want to add, it's important to tell the truth and to tell your truth and what happened. I mean, I'm not just gonna sit here and not have my story be told. I'm not saying any names, so at the end of the day, I think it's important to speak about what the actual truth is and not just what people think the music industry is all about, which is like fame and fortune and like having fun because it's actually a really dark industry.
Okay. Before we dive deeper into it, before we get off of that, Furby Drainer, they keep asking, what does that mean?
So Furby from like the old toy, um, I just thought my handle forever was pregnant Furby because I was just like a weird kid. So I took Furby, and then Drainer comes from this Swedish group of like rappers, and they're called Drain Gang. So I'm Furby Drainer.
Okay, so guys, y'all can stop being devious. Okay, she just explained the name, so now we know in the future. Do you drink sweet wines?
I prefer Pinot Grigio if I'm gonna have wine, so I don't really like this. The sweet wines kind of make me feel nauseous.
Okay. So pretty much I'm assuming with what Rage Face makes and with your dynamic you have in your household, he's not for no like say you went to a party and you ran into like a Diddy associate. He wouldn't be into like you if they are trying to pay you like give you like a contract where you make like 200,000 a year as a A&R or whatever, but you have to like go through with like getting into the industry with the way that most people have to get in through their body and through doing things you may not want to do. I'm assuming he would be like no go, hell no, and I'm assuming even with you having that background in fashion, you would say no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I did have the opportunity in that internship to go further as he was very connected to the Universal Group. like Universal Studios, and also like politicians he knew and all different kinds of things. But I just had discernment to know that it wasn't worth losing myself to gain fame or money in
Yep.
that way.
It kind of sucks because when it comes to like that, like being like getting in sexually, it kind of sucks because um or sex acts, women, you get to do it with men, but when men get introduced to like the game, they got to go through men. Like they have to like be gay, but women get to be, because it's rare that I've heard women being preyed upon other than Ellen, Ellen DeGeneres, like she was doing that crap. But other than her, it's usually men. So it's kind of like, would be hard for me if I had an opportunity right now. If I was, now this is if I was single, if I was in a position that I had to go through with a ritual, and I'm making $1 million a year, as long as it's with women, and maybe this is just me being a man, I would do it, even if it was Rosie O'Donnell and it was like Hillary Clinton or some freaking disgusting looking. Um, but when it comes to doing that with men, I just wouldn't do it. And the reason why I think that way is because um, I don't really believe in nothing other than God. I don't believe in all this spirituality and all this other stuff. So I want to be dismissive of that. But let's revert now to like spirits and God and all of that stuff. Do you believe in like religion and all of that? Because I can go into like a sex party if I'm gonna get a $500,000 a year job and mess with all these women. No big deal. When it comes to men, just because I don't believe in being gay, for me at least, being gay, but I don't have a soul. I don't care. I mean, hey, you're paying me 100,000 a person. Screw it. I'm not a prostitute, but I mean, hey. But with women, different. But once again, the soul situation and selling your soul and all of that. Do you believe in a soul and spirituality and God and all that stuff is going to make you a bad person if you give up what you believe in? And
I I can't exactly I'm not exactly sure, but what I do know is that there's a such thing as evil spirits, and there are demonic spirits that people pray to in order to get certain things. And I do believe in things like black magic and white magic, and I think that um in terms of people selling their soul, I think that's essentially the only way that you can get big in the entertainment industry. And a lot of these people have to keep on continue doing rituals and sacrifices in order to further advance in their career. For example, the Travis Scott concert where all of those people ended up dying. A few hours before that, they were playing this frequency on the speakers all around the park, and it was making people throw up, and they were getting like scared and sick and all of that kind of stuff. And I feel like music is a great source of being able to use magic, essentially.
I
And
believe I
vibrations are real.
so to get deeper into that, like they say Tesla. I think I watched a video like yesterday morning about this, about Tesla was so close to um, giving us the ability to control, frequency, being able to like it it can, because they say, like if you close your eyes and you yell, you can have you ever done that before? Like close your eyes and like yell and you can hear yourself yell. Like go and do it now and see if you can do it. See, close your eyes and just yell and you should be able to hear yourself yell.
Um,
Have you done that before?
no, like scream yelling? I don't
Yeah,
wanna blow
scream.
out anyone's ears.
No, 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 don't yell. And I'm talking about like don't do it like physically, but
In
like
your
inside
head.
your head. Yeah, like you should be able to hear yourself.
Yes, I hear myself.
Yeah, because they say your spirit, like all we are, this is like physical form, but we're really a spirit and we're in the body. So like when you like scream, like we're doing it like physically, but like you can literally like scream and like whatever it is. I forgot the breakdown exactly, but pretty much we're spirits. I guess Tesla was able, he got close to where you were able to like like get to that spirit, and that's what, the government now, they're trying to take us away from our spirit by like trying to make us demonic, trying to make us like zombies, make us like pretty much like bodies that just work. So pretty much when you die, your spirit is so defeated that, it just goes to like nothing. But like, people who die with a smile on their face, their spirit is intact. Their spirit is strong. They fight and they might die, but they die with a smile on their face. And that's pretty much what I was trying to say in regards to like, do you believe in like the spirit that when you die, if you had like a positive life, etc., your spirit will go, to either heaven, or maybe you become, you go through reincarnation, etc., or do you think your spirit just evaporates?
I don't think it evaporates because we're all made of energy, and energy can neither be destroyed nor created. So I think that energy definitely has to go somewhere.
Okay.
Um, I can't really say if I believe in a heaven or a hell or what exactly. I do believe in afterlife. I think that I believe that the spirits of our ancestors are here with us, kind of thing. So,
Okay.
like,
Now,
I'm not sure, like, where we go, where we die, or I don't know.
so have you ever, and I don't want to stereotype you, but with your style and your vibe and your chillness with your voice, have you ever done like mushrooms or shrooms or like acid or anything?
No, I don't partake in that kind of
You
stuff.
never did your whole life?
No, the only thing I do is smoke weed.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
Because
mean, for
usually,
having mental illness, I feel like it's not a good idea to, like, mess around with psychedelics, really, you know?
okay, okay. Because
I always
usually
get
people,
stuck in the sucking place.
okay, because usually people that are super chill, and then also your style, like every single time when I pick them up doing usually Uber, or I like usually during the college days, they always tell me that they did like a mushroom or like did something to where they were able to like, I forgot what it's called, but tap into like a different dimension, whatever, to where you're like they'll say they saw a devil, or like they'll, and I talked about it yesterday with OG and a bunch of people, that like when you take, like I know when I took one time I took like a Molly, half a Molly, and I remember I was in the club and my friends left me and they were joking and they left me and I just started crying. I'm like, oh my God, where are you at? And I was like in a whole different space. So I know when I talk to people that have been on acid or something crazy, like they say that it's like an out of body experience. Have you ever encountered anybody? Have you had a friend that's done any of those drugs that told you
I've
about their experience?
I've had a few friends, one of my friends, he ended up taking shrooms, and then he was also drinking alcohol, so he was just, like, taking a lot of drugs, and he ended up just losing his mind for a few months, honestly. Like, he was on his phone just, like, taking, like, screenshot, and then, like, talking about the time, and, like, he he just went crazy, and he ended up having to go into, like, a mental health facility and wait it out. So I also feel like that's another reason why I definitely wouldn't mess with anything like acid or shrooms, because I don't really, like, need to do that. I'm, like,
That
scared.
came out, yeah, that came out of nowhere. Is that your regular voice? Like, is this not your voice?
No, this is my voice. I can go a little bit deeper though, but this is
No,
how
the
I
way you just said
always
do
talk.
that threw me off. Like yeah, that caught me
No,
off guard. So pretty much, okay, so we got into the music industry. Like any other like stories in regards to like the music industry or spirituality or anything that you've experienced? Have you ever had like a near death or anything crazy happen at like you would say? I know you have premonition, whatever I believe it's called, that you can like see things before it happen. Have you ever had that type of moment? Like, do you believe in that?
I definitely believe in that. I went to a medium once with my mom, and she was able to get in contact with my grandma and also my mom's nephew, who is more like a son to her. So I do believe that there are people that are able to contact the like other realms or other dimensions, I would say. For me personally, I sometimes maybe I just get, like, a feeling or that kind of thing, but I would I wouldn't say I get exactly, like, premonition.
Okay, and we talked a little bit about that too. Like you actually like tarot card reading. Like you want to go into that? Like you said something about that you do that. Is that kind of the same thing? Like can you like read? Like what are you doing with tarot card reading? Like what is that exactly?
Essentially, I feel like tarot cards I just use for I don't try to use it to predict the future or anything like that. It's just kind of for advice in my current situation or something like that. So I'll pull out a spread and maybe put down 3 cards and then read them, usually with a question in my mind, like, "How should I go about XYZ?" And kinda just let the cards take me from there. But I also, I give my friends readings and also, like, my mom and her friends, and I would say it's helped them out a lot. A lot of times it's very accurate, and as Rage Face said, they have predicted our future before, but I'm just never necessarily asking for that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I was gonna ask that. Does it work with sports betting? We can make some money if it does. Like if it works, like I can give you like the lines. You can tell me what you think before the game start. Oh yeah, that'd be clutch. Do you think it will work with sports betting or no?
No, I don't think it's good to use that kind of stuff for, like, a selfish, like, monetary gain.
I mean, I'll give y'all some. I'll break y'all off. Some I'm sharing the love.
I don't want any
I
person.
think I think I think we should I think we should at least try it. I think we should try it one time, like one weekend. Let's say like 4 weeks in, like out. We should do like 5 games to see if you can like predict based off the tarot cards. I mean, is that even a thing that you can figure out with the tarot cards? Like
I
games,
don't think so.
who's gonna win or lose?
Who's gonna
Okay,
wanna
so
lose? No.
okay, Amando, I guess we can't do that. So yeah, we don't got that. So pretty much with the tarot cards. So pretty like for example, like with like say me and Cali girl, would you be able to predict what's gonna happen? Like if I reached out like a couple days or something and we're like I want you to tell us what we need to do, would your tarot cards be able to tell us what we should do, what's gonna happen, etc.? Or
Usually the cards have possibly good, like, guidance. It kind of all depends on the kind of questions you're asking in the situation, and someone named Colored TV says them cards demonic, and I would say that it depends on how you use them. Some people use things with negative, malicious intent and are dark and evil, and that's what they're gonna produce.
mm. So do you think like witchcraft and all that stuff, like is that real? Like witchcraft, that type of
I
stuff?
I would say witchcraft is real because a lot of people. I think it's real because your word is your wand, and you can
Okay.
manifest and create things by the words that you.
Okay.
And for
And it,
example, like Little Uzi's song where he's like, "Push me to the edge, all my friends are dead."
oh, I love that song.
If you keep repeating things that like anything like that, it's eventually gonna take a negative toll on you, and being around negative and all of that, that's gonna definitely drain you out in the end.
Okay. So you think now? Do you think like with Lil Uzi Vert, do you think he's doing it for the money? He doesn't believe it, or do you think these people really believe this stuff? That album, I liked every song on there, and I don't really like. I haven't liked anything other than that album from him, and I don't listen to those kind of rappers.
I would say he's another industry plant that is using the youth to forward his agenda.
I mean, made him a multimillionaire. I mean, I don't know if I need to look for these people. Like, where do you find these people at? Like, where do I go to find people that, and as long as they're not messing with, trying to, backdoor me as a man, like, where do I find the people that I just gotta like say that I like the devil and I'll get money? Do you know where these people are at?
If you ask for them, they should come,
Really?
I feel. I mean, in my opinion, the devil isn't like a man with horns and that kind of stuff. I would say it's more so people that you encounter in your daily life that possibly have like demonic influences or something.
Okay. Do you think that if I try to, like, say tomorrow I woke up with my YouTube channel and I started, um, I guess, behaving kind of whatever demonic would be, like if I figure out other channels that are demonic, that participate in demonic energy, if I copy what they do you think it will work? And I can like blow up on YouTube?
I don't think you should mess with anything like that, honestly, because it it's not gonna end well for you. In the
Really?
moment, people think that, "Oh, this is all good, like, I'm getting fame, getting money, I'm getting bitches," but in the end, it's not worth your morality, your integrity, like, selling your soul. You're possibly giving up an afterlife even, like, who knows what happens after, so like TVL said, you'll be used and turned on. They'll definitely, like, use you. So,
Okay. No, you're right. And I think I'll tell y'all, when I was bashing black people, at that point, I felt I felt like it was working in a sense because I was growing somewhat when I was doing it, but then it ain't feel good. And literally it traumatized me to the point of like now I'm reacting the complete opposite and I feel better. Like my spirit is happier. Like I wake up happy. I'm not really negative anymore. You know, I'm actually, believe it or not, gaining some weight. I think that like me walking around just hating everybody for the past like 6 years really made my life that to where now I can actually call my mom, tell my sisters I love them back. I can like freaking, I can that's just the vibe. Do you think that relates to each other, like having that negative, like just nasty mindset causing you to have like a nasty reaction physically compared to being more positive, loving and showing love to people, um, causing your body to react differently? Do you think they match or do you think they go hand in hand?
I think they definitely go hand in hand. If you wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you're already in the bad mood, you're starting your day off in a bad mood, and then you're looking for every little thing that's gonna be even worse and worse, and then you're like, "Why did this happen to me? Oh, I stubbed my toe, this happened, that." It's just a downward spiral, and it's definitely hard when you have mental illness to just, like, stay positive, but it's important to train your brain to remind yourself of things like, "I'm a good person. I am loved." All like, you have to feed yourself with positivity, definitely, because if you surround yourself with negativity all day, every day, it's only gonna attract more negativity.
Yep, I agree, and I'll say we'll go into like the mental health because one thing I want you to understand when the past few days of me like coming on here angry, I'm it's like I'm bipolar, so I go from like when I leave the house, I'm like in a positive, happy mood. But then I go into a character to where I'm negative and I'm like lashing out at people. And it's like a character I'm playing. And sometimes I can't help it. So when I say I'm angry, it's me actually happy because I get to lash out at people for things that they do. So in regards to you and your mental health, I'm not going to go too much into mine right away. Your mental health, how do you suffer in regards to like mental health issues, from what we talked about behind the scenes? If you, whatever you want to share to the people, what you experience and how you cope with it.
I would say growing up, it kind of all started going down when my nan passed away because I was with my mom living with her. So it went from that to then I moved to a different school in like a different town and had to make new friends. Um, I was I ended up getting depression and I was like depressed and anxious a lot and it took a lot of therapy and going to the psychiatrist and all of those kind of visits in order to help myself know that it's okay what I went through, but that doesn't have to affect what happens from there on. And I can't dwell on the negativity and all the traumas of the past. Like, you have to send that backwards and focus on the future, honestly. Because for me, I only found out recently that I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and that's something that's like a heavily stigmatized mental illness like bipolar is. And I've honestly never even spoke about it live or to many people, but it's it's a struggle, but there's this thing called DBT, which are like, it's kind of like therapy coping skills that you can use to like help you realize that things aren't just, for example, like black and white. So I would say going to therapy, having a psych helped a lot of that. But also, you need to have a good support system around you as well.
Okay. So, so I'll say like with maybe I don't know if this is being a man and also being in like you know growing up in a black community, it's kind of a stigma against like going to a psychiatrist. More so telling and being emotional and and vibing. Right now, my psychiatrist I have, they just give me medication. He doesn't even talk to me about what I'm going through. So I don't know if that would work. And I actually had like 6 months of me trying to talk to a psychiatrist and it didn't really do anything. He didn't really care. You can kind of tell he just wanted to like talk so that way you get paid. So in regards to your personality, disorder, have you ever experienced the effect of it? Like, have you ever gone through, like at a grocery store and you just switched up out of nowhere? I mean, is that a thing that ever happened to you, or is it more so something that can happen?
Um, for me, my mental illness is more so internalized. So instead of taking it out on others outwardly, I would take it out on myself. And um, like, I was suicidal at points, and like I did self harm and that kind of stuff. Um, but I would say I had to just like I beat myself up a lot throughout my life, and then I had to learn how to, like, love myself and undo all of the limitations and the kinda stuff that like, I was kinda, like, setting myself back and setting myself up for failure because I was overthinking and just overanalyzing everything and not being, I just wasn't, like, level-headed at the time.
Yeah.
But I would say on your psychiatrist thing, usually psychiatrists are the ones that, like, give you the medicine, and they recommend that you see a therapist to, like, talk about things more deeply.
Okay. Now I had in Ohio. So in Ohio, so I first got prescribed medication in Ohio, and what it was like they require you to do a like hour, like I guess therapist for an hour, and then you then go walk into the other room and you have the nurse that give you your medication. So it's like the same office. But then when I moved to Nevada, it was just straight. They prescribed you medication. They talk to you for like 5, 10 minutes just to act like they're treating you, and then you out of there. And then when I went back to Ohio, I wanted to renew my medication because it's state to state. You can't really do it from different states. I went to go renew, and I remember the guy that I had, he was literally so dismissive to where, he would like be on the phone with me for an hour and I would just be talking about random stuff. It was kind of like I'm on YouTube. He was entertained with the stories to where he was like, I mean, I remember the one day I was telling him about how this chick I was talking to at the time ran game on me and had me like like waiting outside her job for 4 hours because she thought that I was gonna show up to her house randomly. She was trying to keep me occupied. And I'm telling him about how frustrating that was and he's telling me like, well, he's like I can tell he's giggling low key, but then at the same time, he didn't give me the good advice, which is dude, like grow up. Like why would you be outside of a woman's? So I had to get rid of him. But real quick, I'm gonna read these super chats. Shout out to H Way with the super chat. Appreciate that. H Way Vision. 250 is my lucky number now. Thanks, Burbs.
No
And then we
problem.
got we got Rod Brock with $3 super chat. Appreciate you, Rod Brock. Maddie and Furby are legit. Keep them around.
Thank
Absolutely,
you.
absolutely. We got this. So, you know, um, I'll say like with the mental health, I think that would you say, because your child more so, you said your teenage years was when you started getting the depression. I got a quick story. I'm hoping that you are willing, maybe next week to talk to this individual. I'm not going to tell you who the individual is on here. I'll tell you behind the scenes. But it's to the point this individual put all their love for themselves and for life on this man, to where they live and die off of this man. And but when I first experienced this person, I was able to get them to like not think about anything but like themselves. It was more so about them. But then, because of like trauma with their mother and with individuals around them, and they struggle with what a lot of kids in like a bad environment struggle with, depression. And when I came around, I was like a big burst of energy to this person. So they started recovering, they started being better. But then they went back into that environment and they put themselves around an individual who I call a cult leader. The guy was like, he's probably about 5, 6 years older than this individual. And he literally kind of like manipulated the person. But and by the way, it's not my daughter, guys. It's not my daughter. Okay. It's actually a cousin, but it doesn't matter. But the cousin actually came on here before. But long story short, the guy actually talked this person into like going couple states over, coming a couple states over, and sleeping in a tent outside in the woods to be with them, because he had them thinking that their life was nothing without him, while this man didn't have anything together to really hold it down. So they went back to, after like 3 days getting caught. The guy literally got caught by his family. Situation got bad to where she went back. Family helped her get back. So long story short, now she's dealing with what you said with those self-harm and etc. That she doesn't really know how to cope with not being with him, when it's just is never going to work. And I'm trying to get her to understand self-love should come first. You got to love yourself first. So what would you recommend to somebody dealing with that? And as I said, I hope that you can give them this conversation. I'm not going to let them watch this live, but hope you can give them this face, or not face to face, but I think they'll understand it, because you seem like you would understand what they're going through. Unlike me, I'm like straight up, you're stupid, but like you need to be like more compassionate. So what would you tell somebody that?
I would honestly tell them that, first of all, it's not their fault. When you're vulnerable, it's easy to be manipulated. And a lot of people that are in abusive relationships don't even realize that they're in one kind of until it's too late and you already have fallen in love with the person and invested your time, or like whichever you did. And really, the best thing you can do to move forward is to focus on yourself, rediscover the things that you enjoy doing in life, whether that be drawing or sewing or fishing, or it literally like anything that you enjoy doing, I would say, and focus on that, focus on your hobbies. Also, like try something new, maybe go hiking, just explore life, make new friends, and don't beat yourself up on the past because it's something that you're not going to be able to change. But you can change. You can't change how the card, like you can't change the cards you're dealt with, but you can change how you play them.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have reach, because like you're gonna laugh, because she literally reminds me of you in a way, like the style, the way you, from what you've said on my channel, how you are, to what you're into, same exact thing. So I'm hoping that she'll understand that, meet a great person. And I'll be real. I told her, I called her stupid. I said, this is stupid, but I said, I understand why, because I've done dumb things too. But then I'm like, bad advice. I said, maybe go get a guy that, like, because me as a guy, I know when I've been brokenhearted, in the past, women, did something bad that caused me to want to like end it, which I was never ever brave enough or weak enough to like end myself. But I always moved on to another person, and that move on and sexual engagement got me over it. I'm done immediately. With women, is it the same thing in regards to like trying to get because I recommended she just go get another guy, like just go get another guy, because I'd rather you do that than continue having all your love and everything onto this other guy that's messing your mental up, causing you to want to kill yourself. So would you say go get another guy right now and move on, or would you, like you just said, focus on yourself? Because I've said to focus on yourself, and it's like it seems like a urban legend. So would you recommend getting another guy to move past the old guy?
I wouldn't recommend it just because if she's still in that kind of vulnerable mindset where she doesn't have confidence and she's not really feeling good about herself, she may attract this same exact guy again. So
Okay.
I feel like she needs to take time for herself and to step away from things and see how and why things played out. Um, instead of like trying to get over someone getting under someone else.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pass that down, but I'm like I said, next week, if you feel comfortable, I'll reach out after, maybe giving me like 20 minutes of giving her like it's okay. Like we've all been there. Now, can we get three secrets of Furby? Like three secrets that nobody would ever, or things that people would never ever think that you either do or you've done or you like three things.
One of my secrets is that I speak French, comme ci comme ça, a little bit.
Okay,
So
there you go.
so.
Oh, Sabrina ain't here. She speaks French too, so that would have been dope.
um, I'm sorry. I like told you guys some of my secrets. Like my other secret is I do tarot cards because it's not really something I talk about a lot because I know
Okay.
people don't agree with it or they'll have different views on it. So
Okay.
um I'm trying to think. I don't know. Maybe another secret is that like I like making music.
Okay.
Like
Oh yeah, you got the beat. You got the beat maker over there. Have you made any yet?
yeah, I made a few beats. I like
Can you
doing
sing?
that. I don't know. Not I could sing better than you, but I don't know if I could sing that
I
good.
mean, I'm like, let's see. I'm a mess right now, inside out, searching for. Let's see how you.
I will not sing on stream. I'll have to like practice in the mirror 50 times before I do that in public.
Well, whenever you got a beat, because I'm gonna reach out to TVL, and I'm thinking every Friday. I had this idea yesterday. I'm thinking every Friday we do like music Friday, to where we do like 3 hours of like TVL hosting, like for like underground, like people. Even though my channel isn't huge, but even if I get 50 people or 60 people that listens on a Friday, like 3 hours of music from different people, and then people can like talk about the music, how they made it, and tell stories. But that'd be something you can maybe participate in with your beats. Share some beats. You never know, somebody might like it and be like, hey, I'll pay you, $50 for that. So that's something that I'm looking to do in the future. Can we have one secret about Rage Face?
Um, he's actually secretly a very sweet and sensitive, caring person. And his exterior is all like jokes, and he's like tall and big and tough, but he's like a little teddy bear,
So
honestly.
does he cuddle?
He's a cuddler. He like snuggles and kisses.
So 1 out of 10 cuddling, 10 being the best.
10.
10. Okay. So like, so when I cuddle, mine is like, and she hates it. Like I lay on my stomach and move my head like this to go to sleep, and then she has to just get on my back. That's the way I cuddle. I don't really like doing this for more than maybe 20 minutes, but after that it gets kind of like I get tired, my arms get sore. So are you guys same way, or do you guys full cuddle for like the whole night?
No, we don't cuddle the whole night. We both get hot when we're sleeping, and then we have Bailey in our bed too. I mean, we have a king
Okay.
size bed, but with our dog too, it's like we each have like little sections that we sleep in.
Okay, I had to ask because I think that Rage, he just doesn't really look like, he looks like a lover because of his hair going on, but I didn't see him as a cuddler. He seems like, oh, get off me, So I'm happy to know he's a nice guy.
He's
Your
not.
you're talking about Travis Scott, and I cut you off. You were getting into the MK Ultra, the fact that um, these people. So with MK Ultra, do you think these people are already like supposed to do whatever they wanted them to do before the concert started, or was it after the concert started and it was the music, as you were saying, that they were playing that caused people to like zone out?
I would say that it was all definitely planned. I mean, even the way that the stage was set up, it was designed in a upside down cross, and there was like fire and flames and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like these people have to perform like energy harvesting rituals essentially in order to go further in their career, or I don't know exactly, it could be the higher ups that are telling them, "You have to do this or else blah, blah, blah." I'm not sure, like, the constituents of it.
Okay, what is energy harvesting exactly?
I would describe it as a mass event happening that creates energy between a group of people, whether, let's say, for example, at the concert, people were screaming for help and that they were getting crushed, and people were like, it was basically like hell for them. And I think they were essentially harvesting that negative energy that was coming off of the crowd and the other people in order to, I don't even know. I don't know what like their ultimate goal is.
I mean, what do you think like the ultimate goal with life is? I mean, just think about it. This world, from what they say, what is it like? I mean, hundreds of thousands of years. Um, what do you think we already had like a society like America? Like pretty much have we had like this before you think and it just got wiped off or wiped out and started over? Like what do you think? Because they say we're the most advanced ever in history, but like I find that hard to believe that we're like the most advanced creatures of all time. I think that there were probably like smarter people, but like we always recycle. I think that like even with AI starting up, AI is going to take over. Do you think there's more to life than what we are experiencing right now? What we think life is, with us in human form? Like, do you think it was, the fact that they're trying to take your consciousness out of your I guess your body and put it in robots? They're working on that right now to where people are going to like wake up in robotic bodies. So if that's happening now, we can't be crazy to say this probably didn't happen even 1,000 years ago before everything got wiped out. So do you think it's more that the government and everybody knows that they're not telling us, like that's deeper than what we can even imagine?
I think they only show us what they want us to believe, and they use the media as a form of control, whether it be our music, the news that we watch, the television shows, in order to kind of keep us in a more limited mindset and way of beliefs. Because really, I think that what they are trying to hide from us is that we're the ones that have the power, and whether that comes from God or some other kind of, like, ultimate being of energy or universal source, I think they want us to stray away from that, and I believe that even there are other dimensions on the same playing field that we're on, so I would definitely say there's a lot of, there were civilizations even before us probably here, um and we don't know all of the truth about what happened with, like, the Egyptians and that kind of stuff. So we can even say that they had advanced technologies that we're just unsure of or that they're trying to, like, purposefully hide from us.
Okay. So now I'll ask you what, like the 9 to 5 job. Okay. So, that's like a naughty word in this channel from what people say, the 9 to 5 job. Your husband, he has a, great career. He has, he's going to work at 9, done at 5. Would you say that like that's partially brainwashing if you think that like in reality, we should be able to live off of land. It should be a barter system to where like um, prior to like what America created with like Henry Ford and all the people that pretty much made everything about the money for the most part, brainwash people into buying certain clothes and certain things because of the brand or the look or whatever. Do you think back when people lived off for the most part the land, they built property or built whatever you want to call it, a house, whatever, on a piece of property that they owned? You didn't really need much. It was more of like you would create something or you would be like good at doing something and you bartered, based on what you can offer that person, whatever. Do you think that's a better existence, having that type of system to where, if right now you can go live in the desert, or just say a place, not the desert, but say like the temperature is like 60 degrees, and you can live, say it's like 1,000 other people, and you guys got all the resources to survive off of just the land, off of what God gave us, or would you prefer continuing being like, I guess, a slave to the 9 to 5 life and being a slave to like dying in a way that the government ultimately wants you to die, which is unnatural?
Um, I don't know if I would go off and like live on a commune kind of situation. I feel like the way things are now, we kind of just have to accept it as is. My ideal would be that we have like a community garden and like we're all giving and taking in equal amounts and helping out each other. Um, but I would say that the way that everything is now, it kind of set us up to that we have to be in like a 9 to 5 kind of like workplace. Otherwise, people wouldn't even be able to survive. And also, the government and like companies are buying up a lot of land and taking it away from the people. So I don't think essentially they want us to have land to do those things.
That makes sense. I mean, if you figure, okay, I think Kodak Black, or not Kodak Black, but Boozy, he's doing it. I think he built like a community that self-sustained, and the people that live there are all like family friends, and it's like at least 100 people. And I don't think they operate off of really money. I think it's like, of course, he built it in a way that like, of course, you got to pay. I mean, you're gonna have money involved, but I think he's trying to make it self. Actually, you know what? It's Kanye trying to make a self-sustaining community to where the water, the electric, everything is all like built in to where you don't have to pay nothing. You just live in this community. Would you want to live in that type of Walking Dead without the zombie community to where everybody like helps each other and it's like a community, like of a bunch of people that you don't have nothing to do with the outside world. You still for more than likely will have your cell phones and stuff, computers, but for the most part you're going to literally be self-sustained to where nobody works. You just have a job to do to keep the community going. Then I guess that's a better way of asking you that question: a self-sustaining community that everybody has a job, or a community that we're in now with the 9 to 5 and the slave mentality where you got people working 80 hours a week until they die.
I think that the way it's set up right now isn't fair, definitely, but also for someone like Kanye, for example, like I don't want to live on his compound. Like he's gonna make us all wear like weird clothes and look like robots. So I don't know. I can't even say because we're so far down the hole now in America that like we couldn't even go back to that kind of way of living.
Okay. I'm kind of worried. The reason why I asked you that too, because with AI, they say in like 10 years, AI is gonna be smarter than us. And you gotta remember, if AI becomes like self-aware or whatever, like say 20 years from now, it can literally take control of all of our systems, electrical systems and electrical grids, everything. And it can literally say, you are guys, are humans, you have to do what we say to do, or we're shutting this all down. We're gonna send nukes to this place, that, because they got complete control. So, you know, my thought is world's probably going to be, different in about 20, 30 years to where at any moment with AI, you also have like to where if you're in Russia and you have a AI voice of like Trump saying we're sending nukes over to Russia, and Putin, he hears this audio, and there's no way from the verified he's gonna preactively, he's gonna go and he's gonna shoot some missiles, because there's no like the code or phone number that these dictators and and our president, that they have to reach each other. So if a nuke hits, then I think that civilization is going to go back to like Stone Age, to where we're like back scraping for like. So that's the reason why people, with me, I'm trying to work hard to get in position to have like a bunker, to where I can have enough food and everything, resources to survive. If something like that happened, I'm afraid of living in an apartment or a house that, like, if something like that happened, I got to worry about, finding food, somebody trying to break in for resources, etc. So my question to you is, don't you think that, because most of us don't really know how to hunt and do anything on our own, don't you think we should start preparing for that type of life? Or do you think we should kind of do what we're doing in America, which is just go with the flow and just, if it happens, it happens? YOLO.
There was that old show called Doomsday Preppers,
Yep.
and it was essentially people prepping for the end of the world, whether it was for biological warfare, like you were saying, like nukes being dropped down kind of situation. I think it's smart to, I guess, be prepared for the possibility of something like that happening. Most of us wouldn't survive it anyways, being that most people don't have disposable income to like buy a bunker or
Yep.
like dig underground deep enough to like keep themselves safe. Um, so sorry, I lost my train of thought.
That's
Essentially,
all
what
good.
I'm saying is we we've created a way of living that's not sustainable. So whether wildfires take out all of California and tornadoes take out all of the Midwest kind of area, like the environment is also getting extreme. And then to kind of like shoot for it to something else, there have been military bases where they claim that UFOs have flown over and have been able to completely shut down their technology. So we possibly are even dealing with extraterrestrials that already have the capabilities to get ourselves a nuke if we if it comes to that. So I don't know. I think the development of the nuclear bomb is where we went wrong.
Yep. No, I agree. I mean, I think that we're kind of in a bad spot. And by the way, guys, when I say bunker, people will buy a $500,000 house instead of spending 250 to put a bunker, like a house, a small house. Then you have an underground like bunker for like $250,000 in like middle of Idaho. That's the point. A lot of people have them. They're not that much, and it doesn't cost too much to like stock for like 5 years. Now, of course, I mean, that's my thought. That's the reason why I tell everybody I want this house, because I want a house that has like a basement that I can make, into a more so bunker. But no, I just think about that because or I guess, would you say you're afraid to die, or are you ready for it?
I wouldn't say either way. I think what happens happens. I try not to think too deeply about that because I feel like it makes me anxious thinking about like what will happen after, like how will I die or this and that. I feel like all we can do while we're here is focus on the present moment that we have and try not to worry about all of the possible what ifs because then it'll just like drag us down in the end.
I agree. I try to have, my thing is I try to have, it's like I'm not really scared. I just, if I know if it happens, I want it to be a nuclear like bomb that comes right over my head in this instant. Like I don't feel it. But at the same time, it's like I don't. My worry is I know something's gonna happen in the next 10 to 20 years. I don't want to be stuck like trying to figure it out for like years when I know I'm gonna die because I got radiation poisoning and it's gonna happen. I don't want that slow death. I'd rather it happen fast. Now, do you read the Bible?
I've read parts of the Bible, yes, and I see people are talking about Revelations and how that discusses all of this stuff.
Yeah, have you read that before? Like, is that true? Like, this is everything that's going to happen. Is it already? Do you think the Bible is pretty much a retelling of what already happened before, and we're just in a cycle of like it happening again?
I don't really have too. I don't have much of a strong opinion on if the Bible is predicting the future, essentially, because I feel like we don't. It's not like God Himself wrote the Bible. I think that it was a group of men that wrote like different parts of the Bible, and then it turned into a book. And then like these people have all their other different variations of the Bible. And like Reedface said, the Bible is a ripoff of other ancient texts. For example, the birth of Jesus Christ being on December 25th. That's a common thing that happened in also like Roman cultures. They talked about like a Messiah born that day. And like I feel that we have to focus on not what we read in a book, but more so what we feel to be true. And if people want to believe in the Bible and think that's true, then they can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't read the Bible at all. And by the way, we got about let's say about 20 or so more minutes before we go into like I think we'll have if anybody wants to come up in about 20 minutes, you gotta cam up. If you want to come up, it's gonna be I say about 5 to 10 minutes per person and try to do maybe 2 or 3 people if they got questions based on what we said that they want to refer to Furby. And by the way, if you want to rage face, if you want to have him on at any time, you can too. Because I know he's has a lot of thoughts on some of this stuff also. So, and I appreciate, by the way, I appreciate you doing this because you gave me another great idea. I'm going to do more of these one-on-ones. This is what I like to do. Like, I don't want to have to be the one talking the whole time. I prefer like getting as much off of, the person than me just blabbering. So, I mean, I'm happy that, you gave me a new content idea to where I'm going to go and talk to people one-on-one. This is a better format. Now, we went into like the conspiracy theory situation here. Now, other than MK Ultra, is there any other conspiracy theories that you feel like be interesting for the chat to know? Anything else other than the MK Ultra that you were? I don't know if you believe in UFOs or if you really think that UFOs are like here or aliens are here among us, or you know, if we're in like a simulation. I don't know if you believe in any of that stuff.
Um, I would say there's a lot of conspiracy theories, I believe. I see someone in chat talking about Illuminati, JFK, Epstein, that kind of stuff. Um, I think that what the media shows us necessarily isn't the truth, and it's all kind of just like a pony and dance show, essentially. Like, they all want us to believe certain things, and they're purposely trying to divide us, whether it be divide us through race or religion or that kind of stuff. Like, essentially, the higher ups are using the tactic of divide and conquer.
Yep. No,
But
I
like
agree.
Tara said too, most conspiracy theories aren't even theories, they're reality.
That's true. I mean, hopefully we can get some more of you guys that got some of those that come up to a one-on-one. That way we can get to it because I think we don't talk enough about it. We're kind of like zombies, even with like the election. Just think about this, Furby. I know you don't like Trump, but think about Joe Biden. If he wins, we're literally at war with Russia and China. Like we're to the point that he's trying to initiate a war. But like we know as people, if Joe Biden wins, then we're gonna have a war and we're gonna suffer. Even if we win this war, we're gonna have like inflation like crazy. We're gonna be, we're gonna suffer. But then you have on the other hand with Trump, what most of the people who know more about this than me, he's more about ending the wars by giving, just not caring about these countries that we shouldn't care about. So my question to you in regards to that, do you think that we should take the leader who, more so old age, more wars than we had in decades? Um, we know that's going to be a war if he's in office in a year. Or the guy that literally is, I guess, terrible rhetoric, terrible human being. But we know it ain't going to be for the most part, a war. Best chance of not having a war. Why are people siding with the obvious choice? And if you want to speak on where I'm wrong on this, you can also do that too. I think that's one of the important topics.
I I don't think that it should be this kind of two-party system where we have to either choose Joe Biden or Trump because they're both very old and I think they're both in their 70s, like approaching 80s, and we need to have younger people in government that are going to be there to see the repercussions of like what happens 20 years later after they're president. And I think that um Trump, for example, he's a really divisive person and he has strong opinions that a lot of people don't agree with. Some people do agree with, but I don't think I don't think either of them are good candidates, honestly. Um, like Rachel says, we want Mike Pence for president.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and I kind of asked that question because if you look at the chat, okay, um, I don't understand why. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't understand because I used to be. When you say that we're kind of brainwashed onto the two party system, that we, okay, me being black, there's things that we are used to. We allow and we vote people we vote for, knowing that they're not good for us. They're not the best for us. And then you have like some white people that might vote for Trump or Republicans, even if they're not good for them. Um, do you think we're all just brainwashed in regards to like um, politics and society and culture? Because you're kind of like obviously straight edge, other than you smoke weed, but a lot of people do all kinds of drugs. Your fashion, for what it is now, most women would say you shouldn't have cleavage out. You shouldn't, do this, shouldn't do that. But done you do what you feel is good. Um, there's things that we're kind of told are like not normal, shouldn't be done. Do you think we're just brainwashed in regards to like um, people in the chat not understanding they should like make their own choices in life and not do what they're told? Or do you think we need more people doing what they're told
I
by the
think
government workers?
everyone plays their part and they do what they're told because none of us we don't necessarily come together as a country to say, hey, this isn't right and we need to change the way things are. Like, there's a bunch of homeless veterans on the street. There are people that need resources that they can't have access to, yet they're bringing in like illegal immigrants into the country, just flooding our hospitals, our like the police force and all of these things. So we can't really it's hard for us Americans to like focus on ourselves when our country is giving away so much money to, for example, Israel and Ukraine, and we can't necessarily focus on the problems that we have internally, which we need to do. But I think that the media, like for example, like CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, they essentially feed us this kind of information in order to make an opinion based on what they want us to think. And a lot of people just like religiously follow whatever the news outlet that they watch says. Meanwhile, not exactly like realizing what's going on is more deeper because really like these Democrats and these Republicans, they're all friends in the end. Like they're two
Yep.
sides of the same coin. And Trump was friends with the Clintons, like right up until the 2016 election. And for anyone in the chat thinking that I'm voting for Biden, I'm an independent. I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I'm kind of just doing my own thing.
Yep, that's what they're thinking here. Rage, wouldn't you say that I can't imagine him going with anything anybody tells him to do. He seems like he's his own person. He seems like kind of like you. He makes his own mind up on every single thing. He refuses to get down with what everybody's doing just to be accepted. Or is he a follower?
He definitely um he does his own thing. He he likes what he likes. He says what he wants. He's like a very he's like a straightforward, like says exactly what he's thinking kind of person. So yeah, he's a very honest, like, straight up kinda guy, I'd say.
What would you say with Rage? What would you say made like okay, before you met Rage, what were you looking for in a guy? And did Rage fit everything that you were looking for? Try to be honest. Don't just say what Rage is, but speak on like before you met Rage. Were you looking for what Rage was, or was he just so unique that you changed what you was looking for him?
So I've known him for many years, and I never thought that we would end up getting into a relationship, but essentially what I was looking for in a partner was someone that was loyal and true to themselves, someone that kinda, like, wants to grow together, like, they support my fashion and, like, what I wanna do, and allow me the space to be myself and be feminine and kinda, like, grow together, I guess, is what I was looking for, and then me and Rue just started hanging out, and then it's, like, history from there.
Okay. Okay. So there's a couple other ones that we had here. Would you say that okay, so you know, you have with kids, and this is like a might get a little heated here in the chat, probably not. You have kids going through like peer pressure. You have social media that's perpetrating like to be desired as a woman, you got to have like big boobs or big booty, and then as a man, you got to have like a body, or you have to be wealthy, and it's causing a lot of men to even try to scam and do things to make fast money, unrealistic money, just to get all the women. You have women that are killing themselves to have a body that would get the baller guy. So do you think this is something that starts with kids with social media and the brainwashing, or do you think this is something that as adults peer pressure into doing to try to get what you want?
I think nowadays a lot of kids have access to social media, whether they have an iPhone or an iPad or just, like, a computer at home, and they see celebrities and all of these people that they possibly look up to getting plastic surgery, using retinol cream, fake eyelashes,
No, what
installations.
is what is what is that cream?
Retinol cream is like an anti-wrinkle
Oh, okay.
cream, but, I would say definitely well, there's definitely gonna be more studies in the future that discuss what we're talking about here, so, like, I can't exactly say definite, but I think that the emergence of social media has affected the way that people view themselves because you can see all these different kinds of people and, like, you can see so many more people than you would back in the day when you're just, like, seeing the person face to
Yeah.
face, and that's, like, kind of the interaction that you get. So there's more things, I guess, to be jealous or envious of, and then everyone online wants to show their best face, put their best foot forward, so it kinda creates maybe, like, envy and jealousy and, "Why are they so pretty? Why can't I do this?" Like, they're always doing fun things and I'm stuck here, so I think really, like, social media and kids just, like, don't go.
Yeah. So do you think we should like limit social media for kids? I mean, what do you think gonna happen? Because I know back in the day we had MySpace and we had like, I mean, Facebook was later, but we had MySpace. Facebook, you had to be on a computer. So you remember we weren't able to use it mobile. We had to like be at home. Now you can just like literally go and you can be in school using it. So you think they should take it away?
I think it's really up to the parents to monitor what their children are doing online and definitely, because there are, like, you can't be 13 years or older to enter, but you can easily just, like, check and say this or that. So it's up to the kids' parents to take it seriously and understand, like, what social media is doing to kids these days and the effect it has on their brains and their development.
Okay. And then you have like now I know with the whole I'm not gonna go too deep into the trans thing. I don't want to like derail this whole thing and like it get crazy on YouTube. But do you think that we should stop allowing like anything for kids to do anything with their bodies until they turn 18?
I can't necessarily say. Honestly, I feel like it depends on the situation, but maybe, like, ride it out, I don't know. when I was, uh when I was a kid, I was more like a tomboy, and I didn't like the color pink, and I wanted to, like, play sports, but I also played with my Barbie dolls and Bratz, so I feel like just letting kids be kids, really, like, letting them explore what they like to do without putting any pressures of what gender there are on them so young.
So you played football back when you were a kid?
I mean, I've played, like, football with my mom, we'd, like, toss the football around, but I wouldn't say
Yeah.
I was, like, on, like, sports teams. The only sport team I was on was, I was I did fencing for, like, a little bit, and then
Oh,
also
y'all was
track.
rich. So your mom was rich, low key.
My mom, I mean,
Fencing.
it was through the school, so yeah.
Okay, I can. This is tell me if you guys were rich. What did you do long distance?
No.
You were a sprinter.
We just did we had, like, a track, and I just did, like, hurdles,
Oh,
basically.
so you. I mean, it was competitive. Like you did it in school or just for fun.
Yeah, just did it in school, but it
Okay, so
wasn't,
you
like,
were.
anything serious. I
So you
ended
did
up
the hurdles.
yeah. I was, like, a runner, jumper kinda girl.
Okay, because yeah, I used to do that was my favorite event. I used to do 110 hurdles and then I think it was 300 hurdles. So usually if you're a person of color and you come from some type of struggle, you do like the sprint events. But then if you like came from like a privileged place for some reason, I don't know why it's like this, but you do like long distance. Usually like long distance runners are like the kids that like are like well off, but then the kids that are like hungry, whatever you want to call it, like they gotta like, try to get a career so they can take care of the family. They usually do sprint events. I don't know why it's like that. So that's what I was wondering. So did you play basketball or anything else?
No, those are the only 2 sports I played. I also did, like, volleyball and that kinda stuff, but just in my backyard, I had a net and a ball, so
Yeah. No, I know that sounded crazy. Somebody saying only brokies run 100. I promise you, the fastest sprinters were broke. I'm talking about the fastest sprinters had like used spikes they got from like freaking like somebody donated the spikes. They literally have holes in their pants, and there ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, made them more hungry. But then like I would be doing like because I was like broke too, but I was slow, so I would be like trying to stride my way to the win. Um, okay, so we got for the most part all the questions out. I'm gonna put the link up. If anybody wants to come up and just ask a question or two, you can. And anything else you wanted to say before we start? And it's gonna be one-on-ones, guys. I'm not gonna bring a bunch of people up, so it's only gonna be one person at a time because I told her we're gonna do 2 hours, and then when we get to 2 hour mark, if she wants to go longer, she can. I'm gonna get on a bike and I'm gonna do it while working. But yeah, I think Furby, you have like a lot. You have a lot of good things. Do you think you and Maddie would be okay doing a live together? You think you hold your own with Maddie to like have a conversation that whoops, I'm trying to pin that comment here. I don't know why it started from the beginning. But yeah, do you think you and Maddie can do a live together and like, talk about topics and all of that?
yeah, I would definitely, chat it up with Maddie. She's a really cool girl, and I feel like it's important to bring, um, more, like, different perspectives from the channel for the channel, just, like, a bunch of different people.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Now, do you like have you streamed before? Like, ever done like this before?
No, this is my first time ever, like,
Oh
streaming,
shoot.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want y'all to understand the way if y'all go back to my first like two lives, the way Furby's been on his live is exactly how I was on my first two lives. I was kind of nervous. I don't see nervousness in you. I think you're kind of like um I think it's more of like comfortable taking your time, don't want to say the wrong thing. But my first time I was kind of like nervous. So I was kind of like slow talking and kind of like not really going too deep because of the fact, it was my first time. Then after, let's say a month, I turned into this to where I just yap and I talk for freaking forever. And I know people they kept asking in the chat saying that you looked uncomfortable, you looked scared, and blah blah blah. They got to understand this is your first time actually being a center of attention on a live stream. So of course, it's a lot different from the first time from like a month in. So I think that just like with Maddie, you remember yesterday with Maddie, she looked kind of like at first people were saying she looks like she doesn't want to be here. She looks peed off. And I'm like, no, dude, it ain't that. This is her first time doing a live stream. So I think you and Maddie do a good job. I just think we got to keep it to like I think topics and then like have like videos showing what happened and then y'all talk about it and then like I think Maddie said try to keep it within 2-3 people at a time. 'Cause I think when you have a lot of people on, it causes chaos and you can't really get a word out, without somebody cutting you off.
Yeah, I think like yesterday when we ended up having all of those people on panel, it devolved into like a shit show essentially, and people weren't able to get their word in and talk, and like just like angriness. So
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
definitely. And I think you were good. Ultimately, for what it was, you kept it like going. People loved you in the chat. Now, it was something I was gonna ask you. Tarot cards. Somebody asked, "Would you do tarot card readings on live?" I had a girl in Wilmington who I met doing Uber. She left her baby in the car and she had to run back in the store to grab something. First ride ever with me. It was crazy. But like she was a tarot card reader, and I remember she was when she saw my channel, she's like, "Oh my God, he has big channel." And I brought her food. I was simping, and she put me on blast on her YouTube channel. But people were like paying for like her to like do tarot card readings. Ever thought about doing a channel based on giving readings out to people?
Um, I don't know. I think some of the tarot reading channels out here are a little bit exploitive, and like they're trying to like solve a case of like a missing kid or like that kind of stuff. And I feel
Yeah.
like for me, tarot is more a personal, spiritual thing that I do with like ones that are like close to me and my circle, especially um when you're like messing around with that kind of like energy. I feel like I wouldn't be really open to just giving like random people readings.
Got you. Now, are psychics real? Is that a real thing?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the psychics that were on TV were fake, like the Long Island Medium girl and that kind of stuff. But I think there are a lot of things in this world that we can't exactly explain. So, can someone be a psychic? Probably. I mean, I think the realm of possibility of that happening is more likely than not.
So what about that? I think we started talking about it, but I don't think we got all the way into it. The endless ladder. Like you ever hear about that? Like it's a ladder that's like endless. And I
No.
guess like they say people like if you go into like another theory that they were talking about, if you go in the woods, some people come up missing. I guess we're in like a simulation where people like we're like if you go into the woods, if you go too deep into the woods, you like just disappear because like the it's kind of like a video game, like we're non-playable characters, so like you just disappear, like you're not needed. Do you think that that could be a possibility with all these missing people? Because I don't understand how can this many people come up missing. Like you got like thousands of people that come up missing every year, and I know you have like what you call it the sex rings and all of that, but I don't think everybody could be involved in that. I mean, it'd be kind of hard to get hundreds of thousands of people that come up missing every year.
I think human trafficking and like the sex slave industry is definitely it could possibly be that big. Um I feel like even like here in Tennessee, we were at a store and it had a bunch of like missing children from like the past just like a couple of months, and there were just like a whole wall of missing children. Like I don't think these kids are just like disappearing out of nowhere. I think that a lot of times wealthy elites are able to probably even like purchase, like someone said in the comments, like selling organs, like purchase organs or purchase, like who knows what they do. I don't know, but I think definitely something weird with the missing people.
I guess Jacob's ladder theory. And by the way, we got 2 kidneys, right? I'm kind of slow.
Yes. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
I think
very
so.
close to you.
So no, the reason why I asked that is, I mean, if you can get a
No, I
hundred
think I have
thousand for
one.
one, okay. So whatever you got two of, I forgot which. I thought it was two, but whatever you got two of, if you sell one, um, I mean, if you could sell one, would you sell it if you can get like 50,000, 100,000 for it if you don't use it anyway?
I would personally, I will keep my organs for in case something happens to like a family member or someone close to me. Because I would hate to like sell my kidney or something and then like a few days later, like my mom said, 2 kidneys, guys, really.
Okay,
Mama Bear is my mom in chat.
okay.
But
Shout out to H Way.
hey,
So you
HOA.
so
I
you
know
said so
it
you
look bad right now. My bad.
oh, there you good. So she said she'll keep her kidneys. H Way, would you keep your kidneys if you could sell one for 100,000 right now?
Bro, I'm the wrong person. I'm very extreme. Just like how she has her way of being, I also have my way of being, and it's very different than most people. So I wouldn't give up a single organ. Um, yeah, it's just complicated. I feel like you're not supposed to put parts of your body into somebody else's body, which is my personal belief. Like you're not supposed to like give other people your blood or like it's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
Yeah. So okay, so question. Do you have a question, comment you want to give the Furby? And remember, guys, this is National Furby Day on my channel. So every year we're gonna have this is the day. National Furby Day. It's in my phone as National Furby Day.
You know the funny thing
Lifetime.
is what I was gonna ask you yesterday, but I said I'll save it today. I was trying to figure out where you were from. So I'm like, her roast don't sound like she's from some little some little girl from nowhere. Like, but it makes sense for that you're from New York. Like, New York niggas just know how to, bro. New York niggas is just funny, bro. Like, y'all just funny. Like, I mean, not New York, but over there, like Staten Island, like you said, or you say Staten?
Wouldn't
Yeah,
it still be considered New York?
I guess
yeah,
I
Long
don't know.
Island, New York. It's all
But
New
yeah,
York.
well, you that was shit was funny. I don't know if everybody called it in the thing. By the way, I did not lose 30 pounds. I was lying like a motherfucker. I was fighting for my
Huh?
life, bro. I did not lose. So I lost 13 pounds last year, and then I gained it back, and then I lost 17 pounds, and I gained like 5 pounds back. So altogether, like 12 pounds, bro.
Hold on.
But I
So
did not lose 30 pounds. I was capping, bro.
you're 250?
Yeah, I was fighting for my life, bro.
Oh shoot. So Furby, how did you know? Did you do tarot card readings or something? How did you
Oh,
know he
she
was
did it, bro.
250?
I don't know. She had my
No,
shit.
I
Like
just
she
like
really
made up a
had my shit, bro.
number.
No, she really had my shit, like 250 on the dot, bro. Like she really had my shit. And I was sitting there stunned. I was like, wait, who is this girl?
I was going in because HY was like, you and Christina have just been hating Kelly in the chat like you're a hater. I was like, bro, I'm not a hater. I've been here like all night listening to her,
She was just
like
roasting.
helping mod the chat, like, bro.
She was just
I
roasting on her. She was just roasting, bro. To be honest, that shit was nasty. That
Yeah, I
shit
was
was
having
nasty.
fun, like up all night roasting. I was
hold on.
just
You
like,
guys
Nah,
were
nah.
roasting where? Are you talking about on Discord or on YouTube?
No, it was on a YouTube video. I don't think a lot of people saw it, but it was her and Christina both modding at that time. And then Christina hopped in for no reason. I don't even know why. Like I wasn't even talking to her at all. Like she just kind of hopped in and had some weak ass roast. But Furby was killing my shit. I'm not gonna lie. I am not
So do you,
going to lie.
so do you guys actually have beef, or I thought you
No,
and Furby was cool?
no,
no,
we're
I don't have no
cool.
beef.
I
I think
apologize.
it's a
Like it's
friendly
the
match.
next day that you were live. I was like, I hope HY's there. I gotta apologize. Like I don't want him to think I'm like being actually serious. Like I'm not that mad.
No, and even the stuff that I was saying, like Rage and stuff like that. Rage is a cool dude, bro. Like, probably got a big meat.
Yeah.
You good? Like you know what I'm saying? No Diddy about the meat. That's Dennis's category. He likes to talk about the
No,
meat.
no, I don't do it no more because it's too much. I think like you Furby yesterday night. I'm talking about. I was like I got woke up 2 times for no reason because I guess a kid was bullying adults, so I didn't understand that. It was crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
crazy.
so H-Way, my question to you is, what do you think about the performance of Furby on this live stream? I think she did a good job. I think she gave me a good idea to start doing one-on-ones.
Yeah, she's pretty talented. I mean, I don't know if you watch a lot of streamers. Do you watch a lot of streamers, Furby? Or what?
I would say I do, yeah. I like watching YouTube a lot is what I watch.
So do you
Yeah.
want to do it?
This
I feel like you'd be good. Bobby?
I'm definitely considering
My knees
starting a
shot right now. My
channel.
bad.
I feel like it would be fun
You said
to
streaming?
sit and talk and chat about different experiences, things I went through, that kind of stuff. Like even play some games. I don't know.
Nah, Dennis could be your
hopefully you
manager.
do because
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think no, I would
you know
never
what
be a
I mean?
manager. Rage Face have to. I'm not that good. I'm more of like the guy that like want to help somebody. Because here's the thing: if she was her channel was to blow, and I rocked with her, then me being on her platform would help me grow. So that's what I want. I want as many people as possible that's winning, so that way we can all win. And that's what people don't understand. If we got 10 people, all with like 10,000 subs, and we're all working together, then that's 100,000 people. We have watching our channels,
Yeah.
for the most part, and that's pretty much what I'm looking to do. Try to get people in a game to where, I mean, actually, it would be more of 1,000 people a person. That'd be like 10,000 views among us. I mean, that'd be amazing because you figure the money with YouTube is starting to water down, but there's still a good opportunity with all the platforms that's starting up that's paying good money. So that's my goal. And hopefully Furby, and then we got Maddie, and you got a few other individuals. I'm hoping that they start ski. I'm not even gonna, because you ain't showing your face here, and I'm not even about to do that because we're ending this live in 9 minutes,
Well,
and
I
I
was
don't
gonna
want
ask you
no
about that because you said you're from like your heritage is Native American. Have you seen any kind of like correlation between like some of the culture, like and like some of like ancient? Okay. I'm gonna just because we only got 9 minutes, but I can say what I believe. What I believe is a lot of these religions, modern day stuff or whatever, like people that praise a lot of stuff. It was because I'm a Christian. So I talk about my beliefs. These are like fallen angels who came down to earth who taught men how to do stuff. And a lot of the times when you're praising certain, deities or whatever, a lot of these deities are real. Like they're real. I wouldn't call them demons, but they're real fallen angels who have real power that they're able to do stuff. Like all these religions are based off of some kind of fallen angel or deity. Have you seen any kind of correlation to that kind of stuff? Or
I would say that a lot of things, for like a generalization of, I guess, like native culture, a lot of things are heavily associated with the land and the animals and the sun and the moon and the water. Um, like for example, recently a white buffalo calf was born in Yellowstone National Park, and that fulfilled a prophecy that the Lakota um, tribe had made, that once a white calf is born, there will be like more peace and that kind of stuff like coming to the world. So I would say, I think since we're all humans here, it's definitely all connected. Even the way that people have seen mermaids, for example, in different parts of the world before they can talk to each other about that kind of stuff. Like we're more connected than
yeah,
we think, but I don't think that the modern religions are necessarily something that's like the truth.
Hold on,
yeah,
mermaids real?
yeah. A lot of people. Hell yeah! What you mean?
I don't know.
Bro, all that stuff is real, bro. You think it's fake, but it's real, bro. Like that sighting that was in the mall. What mall was that? What mall was that? Where it was like a black figure sighting in the mall or something like that.
That's
Y'all know
crazy.
what I'm talking about?
I never heard of that. No, I never heard of
I don't
that.
know, but either way, like when people talk about like UFOs and like what do they call it? Unidentified objects. Me personally, my personal belief, I believe those are like demons, like legit. Like I don't know if space actually exists like that, even though they showed us things that they're saying that exist. But reality is like when they be talking about unidentified objects and things that be flying. Like if you really do a lot more research instead of like the Bible and stuff, the Bible talks about aliens. Like the Bible talks about like those kind of creatures with certain looks on their face, certain sunken in dark eyes. Like there's a lot of little stuff, but I just wanted to throw that little tidbit out there like that, 'cause there's a lot of truth, even if the Bible isn't the whole truth. And I'm open to being able to be like, okay, maybe the Bible isn't 100% correct, but there is a lot of ancient knowledge in that book that's been around. But the problem is that people have translated it over and over and over and over and taking so much meaning out of it. It's kind of sick. It's very
Can
sick. But I admire you for all your knowledge and the things that you look into. And I would say just be careful with the white magic, you know, because you
and,
might have
and
certain gifts that you don't really know. Like you might have a lot more than that, you know.
and H-Way, Rage Face just asked, have you seen Prometheus?
Did my camera that bad? Prometheus.
I never seen it. Furby, you see it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a alien human origin kind of movie where
No, I haven't seen
aliens
that.
come to Earth and basically like create the entire human civilization.
I haven't seen that,
So
but I have seen like the Truman Show, which you mentioned earlier. That was pretty crazy. Cause when I watched that movie at like 13, it fucked me up, bro. I was just sitting in my room like, am I being recorded right now? Like, but I had to realize like I'm not that important. I'm not that special for people to be recording me. But still,
so by the way, Ski said, Furby, no one can hold it down like you. What's your purpose, passionate in life about? If do you think if I put Furby, do you think I say about maybe extended 10 more minutes? Do you think if I let Ski come in here, he's not going to he's gonna be, chill. Like you guys on good terms, right?
Yeah, you could bring up Ski.
Okay, so Ski, come on in. Come on in, Ski. You be the last. And then we're gonna end it at 2:05. And by the way, guys, and H, I'm gonna mute you for a second because the basketball is kind of echoing in the back. Or
oh my
actually,
bad.
can you mute? Yeah, you good. Just until you talk, just mute. Okay, he's not coming on now. But so guys, we had a anonymous. Actually, I'm not gonna say anonymous donor. We had a donor who um, gave Furby before the live stream $50 for her and Rage Face to go get a two for what was it, 2 for $50 Applebee's special.
2 for
So
25.
yeah, 2 for 25, but I guess 2 for 50 because Rage, he could probably take down some drinks. So you know, that was that person did that out of love for Furby taking the time, to spend 2 hours on here to rock out. So I wanted to make that announcement there. And with that said, I guess Ski is not gonna come on. I feel bad because I told him not. I told him not to come on without his face because I didn't want him to be on full troll. But I forgot that you guys were not beefing. Ray said he doesn't drink, so Ray doesn't drink.
Yeah, no, we don't. Neither of us really drink that much. I feel like drinking's not good for you. That's all I can say about that. It like leads to bad things.
So and
Um,
okay, so
just
I
to
was just
answer what he said, sorry, really quick. What's
go
your
for it.
purpose, passionate in life about? I'm just passionate about community. I'm passionate about veganism and trying to limit the harm that I do to other people or animals. And I think really what I care about is just other people. And ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be like a doctor because I wanted to help people. And I hope that at the end of my life, people can say that I've helped them or like made a difference really in any way that I can. I mean, I'm just like a simple kind of girl, honestly.
Makes sense. Do you have anything in the future planned? Like, do you have anything other than being, a great wife? Do you have anything like planned for, you know,
For the
your?
future, I'm hoping that I could display some of my art again in some exhibits. I mean, I've done that in the past, but I kind of wanted to kind of just want to like make more art, more jewelry, and focus around like with clothes, mess around with that kind of stuff. Just like anything creative, really.
you could be
Okay.
a healer, bro. You could be a healer through your art. I mean, even with your story today, I'm pretty sure you touched somebody who was able to, they won't tell you. They won't ever tell you in the comments, but you probably made an impact on somebody. You could be a healer, bro. The art, everything could really be like, you know, it could legit like I believe in all that stuff. Like you could heal people through music, heal people through art, but you got to do it the right way because you can also destroy people with the same way. Yes, it is. Okay,
Yep.
I wish I could flip
I
the
agree.
camera right now.
I think intentions really matter.
If I agree. Now you have now with that said, anybody else in the chat got any questions? And if H-Way, you got any other questions? Yeah, I think we did. I mean, I'm actually proud of not just you, Furby, but myself, because I think I did a good job of you know, keeping it a solid 2 hours of questions and conversation. And people took a lot out of I guess they asked, did you take the vax?
I was forced to because I had to go to school in person, and I wanted to get my degree. So yes.
Yeah. And then it looks like what Ski said, your passion holds the wings of birds in the sky. The sky in your canvas. Beautiful. Thanks, Ski Mashway. I'm sorry, I was the wrong one to read that. I can't really read. Do you read good?
Yeah, I like to read.
Can you please you got to give him some justice there. Can you read that again? Because I just jacked it all up.
Your passion holds the wings of bird. He spelled it wrong, honestly. I can't even. Thank you, Ski, though. We get what you're saying.
No, I think I know now. I think
that.
that's why I messed up. Okay, your passion holds the wings of birds in the sky. The sky in your campus. Oh, it went away. Beautiful. Thanks, Ski Matchway. There we go. That's the reason why I read it wrong. I thought that I felt like I disrespected them. But no, that was deep.
Bro, can I
That
ask
was
you a
deep.
question since you know about video games? Do you know
Yeah.
the game series Fable? Like all the Fable games?
No, I'm not familiar.
Nobody know that, bro. I know it's kind of old, but that's like my favorite video game of all time. Nobody knows about it.
Yeah, I never played that before. We're not asking her that. That'd be disrespectful. H-Way, why are you playing basketball? You didn't even invite me. Ever.
Bro, I was not supposed to hoop today. I was legit supposed to do a workout, and I left my other phone at home, which has my workout app on it. So I've been following this strict workout routine. So I just came in here to hoop. Some dude challenged me to 1v1. I beat him with stiff legs, even though he kind of gave me a little sympathy points because he didn't drive. So but yeah, I was not supposed to be hooping today. I suck, bro. I can show y'all, but I suck. Man.
Nah, you good. I'm bad. And by the way, guys, I'm 8 deliveries. I'm 8 deliveries from Top Dasher. But no, I'll say this, okay? Furby, you know what's funny? We got so many catfish accounts in the chat. I don't get it. Like people just keep making new accounts and going crazy. Like I don't get it. It's like the same person.
I think the particular individual in discussion is obsessed with you, and they can't stand that they're not able to mod your channel anymore and call the shots, and they kind of just like taking it out on anyone that you interact with.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if it's her exactly, but I feel bad because like I don't know. I just want to be successful. But it's gonna be crazy because it's like 4 accounts that like are just trolling the chat. But it's all good. But with that said, um anything else you want to tell the channel?
I just want to tell you guys, I hope you guys have a great day. You got to stay focused on positivity and stop living in such negative, self-limiting beliefs if that applies to you. If not, continue having an amazing day. Honestly, and if I can say this, I would say fuck you, Christina.
I mean, that's on you. You can say that all you want. That's that. Today's your day.
AKA Crystal Gomez, aka something, something, something.
Now that is some crazy work. What I'll say is this. I appreciate you coming on here. Hopefully you enjoy your Applebee's. And I'm gonna get back to work. And guys, this is Furby Day. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clip a couple of moments. I'm gonna try to take the time to do that when I get back tonight. And then I'm not gonna be on live tonight, guys. I'm making this about Furby, so that way you guys have time to watch this live, because I know most of you guys are gonna see this after the fact. So this will be you guys' entertainment for today, Furby Day. And I'm actually considering removing that live from earlier with OG, which I'm about to do it right now because I feel bad because I did go hard on him and I shouldn't have went that hard. So yeah, today's gonna be Furby Day. So the only video that's gonna be up is this video. So I'm gonna do it right now here. Let's see. 13 dash. I'm gonna hide that right now. So yeah, today is about you. I appreciate you for taking the time. Hopefully we can do more of these because you were you did good. You're an interesting person. A lot of people enjoyed this, and the chat was lit. And I think I'm going to start doing more of these format, or more of this format of video. Appreciate you, H-Way, for jumping up here. But with that said, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and you're free anytime. So of course, if you want to ever do a live like this again, Rage Face. When you come on, I'm going to try to keep it with face, people that show their face, people that are like, respectable, willing to have a conversation without drama. Because I enjoyed this. I
Me
mean, I don't know
too.
about you. I mean, there was no drama. Like, it was just fun. We learned things. So yeah, with that said, thank you. And you're a mod. You got the mod wrench, right?
Yeah, I'm a mod.
And
And
the Rage got it too, right?
no, I would say for Furby Day, Rage deserves the run.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the wrench too. Tell him to leave a comment. And I think H-Way, he gets his wrench back because I think he's done enough to show. Now that we need more mods in the building here. Let's see, where's Rage at? Oh, wait, there you go. Oh, I thought he was already perfect. All right, so Rage is a mod. Ski, you're on your way there. Ski, I think Ski needs to go up to vote on Monday. I think hasn't trolled for so long that I think if me and Ski can have a conversation, Ski, maybe like tomorrow for like an hour with no troll and just a nice conversation, I think I can make you a mod too. But with that said, appreciate you for coming on. Today is your day. Hopefully you enjoy. Until next year, you guys in the chat, thanks for tuning in, and thank you once again, Furby, for giving me the time to do this.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Happy Furby Day, guys.
Definitely. Peace, guys.
out.